Rumors have been circulating for months, but what we've all been asking for, it's finally here. This is the new Nintendo Switch Alarmo. It's an alarm clock that uses iconic Nintendo characters and sounds along with motion sensors to get you out of bed. And all that comes at the cost of $100. This is Sergio AM. Welcome to It Came From a Box. The box looks nice and clean. I like the logo, nice graphics too. But below that, we have a big ol' warning box that says in bold that it's an ingestion hazard, death, keep out of reach of children, so they really don't want this near kids, or they may die? All right. I'll show you all sides, pause to read. On the side, wake up in Nintendo worlds, 35 unique alarms. Below that, the clock screen changes to fit your chosen alarm. If you don't get up, the alarm grows louder. On the other side, stop the alarm by just getting up. Then on the back, placement requirements. And let's get inside. Now in the box we have the manual, a USB-C to USB-A power cable, and the Alarmo. We've seen Nintendo tackle this type of health and fitness lifestyle kind of tech before, but this one is standalone. It's just a clock that helps you get to sleep, track it, and wakes you up. Right away, I love the playful design. It's about the size I'd expect an alarm clock to be, probably a little bit smaller, and it's pretty lightweight. It looks like something out of a cartoon. It's very simple, but modern, and very Nintendo with that bright, bold red. We have a 2.8-inch color LCD that looks circular, but you'll see that it's actually rectangular and blends in with this bezel that hides their motion and brightness sensors. Underneath, we have these two kind of peg legs. They're made of a soft plastic, and they, along with this front rubber bar, help keep it in place. And down the center, we have the USB-C port to power it. On the back, we have these 3 slots for the speaker, which gets surprisingly loud. And up top, we have a back button, a notification button, and this one big button that's also a rotating dial so you can navigate and adjust settings. It's very easy to tap, easy to rotate, and it's got colored LEDs that light up with the alarm. Now, it doesn't include a power brick, but if you have an extra Nintendo Switch AC adapter, just use that. Much easier. Setup is a breeze. It walks you through each step and teaches you everything you need to know about the clock. I'd suggest doing this at your bedside table so you can calibrate and test the sensors right there and make sure it's working correctly. I don't have a bed here, so I faked all the movements, but just know that these sensors are pretty sensitive, so they won't work well with multiple sleepers, pets, or other movement in the room that can set them off. If that's your situation, you're better off using it in button mode. Then it'll have you set the alarm, which starts by choosing a theme. You have those 5 games to choose from, each with 8 scenes, and you can even shuffle randomly between them. But surprisingly, there's no way to preview them, so you'll have to set them and wait for the alarm to go off to check them out. The most annoying, or some would say the most effective, being the Pikmin-themed one that sounds bonkers. Also, each game changes the theme on the clock design. Next, you choose your mode. Each helps you wake up within 20 minutes of your alarm, and after that, they enter a hurry-up state where everything is more aggressive until you either turn it off or get out of bed. There's steady mode, which is the most aggressive. Then there's moderate mode, followed by gentle mode, which wakes you with calming sounds and is the only mode that removes that hurry-up state. Finally, for those who can't make use of those sensors, we have button mode, which, as the name implies, uses the button to turn off the alarm. Regardless of the mode, when the alarm goes off, a few things will happen. First, the time starts to shake, the character from the game you chose will wake up, the LEDs on the big button will light up, and a scene bubble will appear. Waving or moving around will reduce it until it pops away. At that point, you can either use the button to turn it off, or get out of bed and it'll stop the alarm, along with a victory animation. But if you snooze, it'll continue to play sounds from your scene, and at 10 minutes, it'll try again. Then at 20 minutes, you'll enter the hurry up state with a type of themed boss mode, which is much louder and aggressive to help wake you up. My favorite being the Breath of the Wild Guardian alert, which is just terrifying to wake up to. Now, it does have a few additional settings, some that you'd expect, such as volume and brightness adjustment, but it also has other features such as a backup battery for memory, so it can retain the current time in case of a power outage or disconnect. It has this notification setting where it'll randomly send you info on features, settings, news, and updates. It also has a sleepy sounds setting that plays, well, sleepy sounds at your set bedtime when you get in bed. Next, we have an hourly chime feature that at the top of every hour makes sounds that match your chosen theme. Then, with those sensors, it can also track your sleep patterns and record them. This includes things like how long you've slept, what theme and how you woke up, as well as how much you've moved in bed. And finally, it can also connect to the internet, but it's completely optional, which I appreciate. Now, connecting does have its benefits, such as new downloads and updates that of course include our favorite system stability improvements. Connecting your Wi-Fi is pretty straightforward. The hardest part is slowly entering your password. And then you have the option to connect your Nintendo account through the app, which is pretty simple thanks to that QR code. And no, a Nintendo Switch Online membership is not required. Once you do, you'll be able to update it and eventually download new themes from games like Mario Kart and Animal Crossing, which are coming soon. Now, it is missing a few things that I think would make it awesome. First, I wish it had Bluetooth connectivity because that would open it up to things like app integrations, which can make it easier to set up and use, maybe even access music because that speaker is great for audio. Next, although you can adjust brightness levels, you can't turn off the ambient light sensor, which overrides it. An odd thing to exclude, but they do give you the option to dim it when there's no movement. And last thing, multiple alarms. As of now, you can only set one and choose what days of the week it goes off. Yes, I know they're trying to keep it simple and it's geared towards bedtime, but I would have loved the option to add normal alarms, especially as someone who's not going to use this on their bedside. So would I depend on this? Probably. I'd say if you set your alarm 20 minutes earlier at least, then this may get you out of bed, but my fear is that you may just hit snooze or turn it off and then you're done for. So your best bet is to use this along with a secondary alarm clock. So yeah, it's an alarm clock that goes above and beyond, but all that tech comes at a price. Regardless, I love how it looks, audio is top notch, I like the themes, and I can't wait for the new ones. But I do wish it went a bit further, which luckily can happen with a few updates. As for how effective it is, that really comes down to you personally. The sounds get very loud and the sensors on here are pretty accurate, but if you're one of those people who turns off the alarm without knowing it, well, in that case, it's just as effective as any other alarm. So it's quirky, it's unique, it's fun. Through and through, this is a Nintendo alarm clock, but let me know what you think of it down in the comments and let's talk. Also, if you're looking to pick one up, I'll have links to it in the description. It's currently only available through Nintendo Switch Online subscribers, but will be available in other retail stores early next year. Once again, this is Sergio AM. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you for the next box. If you like this video and want to help us out, click that thumbs up button and leave a comment below so we can talk. Now, if you want to go further, subscribe and ding the bell to stay notified whenever we post a new video. You made it to the end, and I just want you to know that you are the reason we do what we do. This is Sergio AM, and I'll see you for the next box.